Hey guys, welcome back to the Think About It podcast. I'm Nisi. I'm so excited to have a safe space to speak our truth or to find it. So come on in for however long I have you here or however long I have your ear. And let's talk about it.
Every time that I think of you, baby girl, I'm all love on you. I'ma kiss your forehead, that's true. I be saying prayers for you. Anything when I buy for two. Baby girl, I lie to you never. Cause this thing not forever, forever. And I'm mad, baby.
Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Think About It podcast with your girl, Nisi. We are back, y'all. Look, don't start. Please don't start. Don't start, okay? We got a whole lot to talk about. I know I usually say I try to keep my podcast or episodes under an hour. I don't know if we're going to do it today, girl, because we got a lot to get into today, all right? So, like I said, welcome back to another episode. I hope everybody's week has been amazing. I hope, honey, if it wasn't amazing, listen, by the grace of God, you made it. Ain't that right? Ain't that right? Ain't that right? Y'all see the little curly it's shaking. Ain't that right? Y'all, really quick, matter of fact, honey, let's just go ahead and get into it. I know if you're on YouTube, you guys have not seen me, maybe I think it's like 2-3 weeks now. So here's the thing. I did an episode, right? The storm was last week, so I did an episode. Oh, okay, it's been 3 weeks. Okay, it's been 3 weeks. I'm over here it's been 3 weeks. But I missed 3 weeks on YouTube. I missed 2 weeks on audio. Reason is because on audio I did post 2 weeks ago. And I didn't edit the video to be posted on YouTube, if I'm being honest. Because y'all, you know what, if anybody listened to it on episode, well, anybody, but for those of you that did listen to it on podcast, it was about the whole 50-50 conversation, man and woman 50-50. And after I got done recording it on audio, I'm like, girl, look, at this point, I don't even care no more. Girl, I didn't care no more. If you the type of person, you want to go 50-50 with your man, honey, do you, okay? If you want to go 80-20, if whatever your beliefs is in that 50-50 thing, not 50-50 thing, whatever it may be, I don't even care no more. Do what makes you happy, okay? I just was like, girl, I'm over it. I'm tired of it. Do what you want to do. People gonna do what they want to do regardless, and I get that. But that conversation, I feel like y'all was just so, if I'm being honest, beneath me. And when I say beneath me, I just felt like it was pointless. And if you've been here before, as you know, I like to have conversations for the most part that is going to lead to a good outcome. You get what I'm saying? This one here is just a debate that I just did not care about. And I'm honestly, y'all, going to delete it off of the actual audio part of the podcast as well too, because it's just pointless to me. I don't care about it. It's just do what you do. Okay? Do what you want to do. It was just not important to me. So, like I said, I did actually record 3 weeks ago, but I didn't post it on YouTube, and I'm going to delete it off of podcast streaming, audio part of it, period, point blank simple. Okay, it's just, girl, I don't have time. Okay, I just do not have time. Okay, point blank and period. Y'all, really quick, shout out to my cousins. Y'all. I spoke to a few of my cousins back home, Andrew, and my big cousin Michael. And y'all, I didn't even know, honestly, you guys, that they actually listened to my episodes and my podcast. But I love the fact that they actually held me accountable. One of my cousins was like, where the episodes at? Because I ain't see you in a while, you know? And I really appreciate it. I love you guys so much. Those are like my protectors. I got a good amount of cousins, y'all. And my cousins, my boy cousins, like, they is not going to play about me. Just know that, okay? They is not playing about me. And I just want to give you guys a shout out. Thank you guys so much. I really do appreciate that, okay? Really quick, no, not even really quick. I told y'all, let me stop saying really quick, because it's just not going to be quick, okay? Buckle up, okay? Go get yourself a drink, okay? If we at work, honey, and you're supposed to be doing your work, get off of here. Get off of here. At least put the little headphones on or do something. You don't get caught. I don't want you to be losing your job, okay? If you about to be off in a minute and you finna go home and just put your feet up, watch it later, okay? Because we're going to be here for a little minute. All right. But before we get into the ketchup, mayo, and mustard, is it just me, or let's just say like you preparing like to go out, right, or to do whatever it is that you're like, that has to put you in a place where you have to prep, right, to get yourself ready and get your makeup, your clothes, whatever, right, and you're like, okay, well, you don't really go into like deep details. Like, I'm the type of person, y'all, if I'm planning on going out, right, or again, even for preparing for podcasts, for work, no, work is like, because honestly, I really don't. I'm always be cute for work, but it ain't giving like, oh, I gotta actually prep for it. You know what I'm saying? Church, whatever it may be, a party, y'all, the girls who still, club or dinner, or whatever it is, you gotta prep for it, right? I'm the girl. I gotta make sure I try my outfit on ahead of time so it banks. You know what I'm saying? It gives what it's supposed to be giving. I needs that in my life, right? Or if I have like, if I'm getting ready, like I need my hair done, and I have to, I'm not really crunched for time, but it's a time period that I have to be there. I have to get my hair like set up and ready to go before it's time for me to put my clothes on, because typically I know it's gonna take time. So do you have moments where you're like, oh, I already know I know what I'm gonna wear, I ain't gotta try that on, right? But this is actually your first time you actually putting these pieces together, but you're like, see, if I wear this, this, and this, that's just gonna bang. I don't need to do all that, right? So I'd be like, okay, well, I'm not gonna try that on. You know what I mean? Or about your hair part, like, it's just gonna take me a little time to curl my hair. I just gotta get the flat iron, or the actual where my head at, the curling iron, and I just gotta curl it, and boom, I'm gonna be done, ready to go. Or my hair already like set up, I just gotta like press my lace down, put a little melt that bad boy a little bit, I'm good to go. You know what I'm saying? Or I'm not gonna, I'm usually like, you get your makeup ready ahead of time. Like you probably spend like an hour and a half on your makeup, however long. You're like, I ain't gonna be doing too much today, so I'm gonna do it in the next 15 minutes. You know what I'm saying? Like when it's almost time to go. And then the minute you don't do what you usually do, like again, if you prepare yourself ahead of time, I need my hair to be set a day before time, because I already know, y'all, I'm not gonna like it, or I'm gonna have to change something up, whatever it may be, and it may take me a little minute. So I don't like to do that. So I'm gonna make sure my outfit, I know what I'm gonna be wearing. I know what my hair gonna be like. I'm gonna set it up just in case, so I have a little more time to play. But the minute you wanna be like, I don't need to do all that, I already know what I'm wearing, and when it's time for you to get ready, it don't give what it's supposed to give. Now you sitting there for hours, like it done took you an extra 30-40 minutes. Now you late, you supposed to be on time. Like, yeah, I ain't gonna take that long, because I just gotta do this and I'm gonna be on time. Boom. Like, it ain't gonna take me that long, and then it wanna take you just longer than what you thought it was gonna take you. Like, you always do your makeup, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's nothing for you to do, draw your eyebrows or whatever it may be. And then when it's time for you to, you done missed that time period. Like, again, that extra 30-40 minutes you would spend, you be like, nah, I don't need all that today. And then come to find out, honey, you need all of that, and then some, because you done messed the whole eyebrow up. And it's like, girl, I do this all the time. Now all of a sudden, it just don't want to give. You done put your outfit out like, yeah, like this. If I would have did this ahead of time, if I would have checked and made sure like I had tried this on, I wouldn't have this problem. But in my head, I'm like, I thought that would have go, and then it don't go. Don't you hate that? Now you like, dang, I should have tried this on, or I should have did this. Y'all, I cannot stand that. I was supposed to have been recording like 2 hours ago, girl. Okay? I had what I was going to wear, how it's going to look. Boom, no. Nope. Lied. I cannot stand that. Like, tell me y'all gonna do that. It just can't be me. It's impossible that it's just me. Okay? So, y'all, let's go ahead, y'all, and get into the ketchup, mayo, mustard really quick. I got to stop saying really quick. It's not going to be quick, period. What's the ketchup, mayo, mustard for those of you that haven't been here? Really quick. If I say really quick one more time, for those of you that have not been here before, this is your first time here, welcome, honey. Welcome to the Think About It, all you can think about, okay? Because that's what we do. We think over here. We use our brains. We're smart. sometimes over here. The ketchup, mayo, and mustard, y'all, it's just catching up. You know, catching up throughout the week. Sometimes, honey, the week has been weaking. And this week, these few weeks, girl, it's been weaking. And it's a whole lot to talk about. Things change, people change, situation change. There's drama, there's tea, there's coffee. Sometimes Kool-Aid and all kind of Welch's juice. Okay, all the flavors, dragon fruit, watermelon, grape, girl, it's all kind of, so we gotta get into it. So that's the ketchup, mayo, and mustard over here, okay? And today, sometimes we just have ketchup. You know, it ain't really too much going on, boom, let's get into it. Sometimes we have ketchup and mayo, okay? And, you know, a lot of stuff, I like a mayo. You know, people like, you know, people say the other, I ain't gonna get in that conversation. But I like some mayo. And I'm a black girl and I like me some mayo. Okay? And some mustard. Okay? So when we got ketchup, mayo, and mustard, that means it's been a week. Okay? So y'all, let's get into it real quick, girl. So really quick, if you have been living under a rock, okay, you're a caveman if you do not know Florida had one of the biggest storms, hurricanes, there's been in some years, okay, especially on the central part of Florida, okay. For those of you who do not know, I live in Tampa, okay. For those of you who do not know, I also grew up, y'all know I'm a Bohemian gal, but I grew up in Bradenton, Sarasota. Now again, that's a whole different conversation, because if we from Bradenton, girl, it ain't the same. You know, people are like, oh yeah, that's right down the street there. It ain't, but then you heard the name Bradenton, Sarasota. Didn't it say that was do Sarasota is Sarasota Bradenton? Did you hear Bradenton all the way down there 50 minutes away? That's still Bradenton or that's Sarasota? Okay, same thing with Palmetto. Okay, no, baby, it's different. Okay, and if you actually from Bradenton, we call certain parts of Bradenton different. You from Oneiko, you from Oneiko. Period. You from Bradenton, you from Bradenton. You know what I'm saying? But y'all, that's a conversation for another day, okay? So y'all know, like I said, the whole central part of Florida, in some way or some form, it was a disaster. Okay, when I say that, it's not funny at all. But when I say disaster, the cackle was more the gas situation than anything. Cause girl. But before we get into that conversation, I just want to give my heart goes out to everybody who has lost homes. Their death rate, I think they said, was between, don't quote me on this, I heard 16 at some point, then I heard 10 at some point. Either way, my condolences goes out to family members that's lost a loved one during this storm, this hurricane storm. And like I said, for those of you that has lost, you know, their homes, vehicles, and you know, these things are materialistic, especially when it comes down to the vehicle part of it. But it's still a setback, right? It's still a setback. It's still an inconvenience. But for those of you that lost your homes, I live in an area not too right off of. I live in an area, very popular area in Tampa as well too. And when I tell you, for me and my family, we evacuated, me and my mom, my dad, my sisters, my daughter, girl, she be, even though it's one, honey, sometimes it be giving daughters, cause she be stressing me out, girl. But yeah, my daughter, we all evacuated. But when I did come back, I came back the next day after the storm. Once the roads was clear. My mom, she kind of stayed a little bit longer. But when I came back down and I seen, first off, the water was, not just the water, honey. The water, the wind damage, the debris, the trees down, the lines, lines down. I mean, live wire, trees on it. Cars, literally, like when I tell you, as I was coming back home, my GPS like detoured me. And the GPS needs to know when a storm is like, and I get it, because sometimes the GPS doesn't know like what area is damaged or not. I get that. You know, like I said, especially when I came on the road literally the day after the hurricane, so that's understandable. But my GPS detoured me. You know, like how sometimes when your GPS is like, you know, you save an extra 10-15 minutes. I didn't even click okay, but it still rerouted me off of the interstate into this little area. When I tell your girl, I was petrified. I always pray, but I was like, my car, every inch of me driving through there, I was like, Lord help me, cover me, Lord. Because when I tell y'all, there was a tree, more than one time, it was a tree. This is where the cars is passing through, and the wire and the tree is literally like this close to your vehicle. You know what I mean? Water is on both sides of the street. It was like in a like kind of like a farm area, so of course like it's so much trees around, right? Waters, etc. So the debris was even as bad. The water was still high, like I said, because I drove down the very next day of, once, you know, again, we got clarity to, you know, to hit the road. The water was still high. So this is the street, and the water is literally, is on the side of the roads, right? But I mean, if I tell you, honey, if you take one wrong little turn to the right, baby, I hope you could swim, because that's how high the water was, like next to the street area as well too. But yeah, like I said, it was so much different. It definitely, this was definitely one for the books. It was a tough sight to see. So when I came back, like I said, and I finally got back in town, watching and seeing the water. And even my area, because my area was not an area to be evacuated. We do have like certain ponds and retention ponds around the neighborhood. But ever since I've been here, I've been here like 2 years now. There was a few storms as well last year. And it was not, we were not in an evacuation zone. But to see the flood, even though we're not in an evacuation zone, when I tell you, honey, it looked like a pure lake. It looked like a lake, okay? So a lot of the houses on one of the main streets, they're all like just one level apartments. So it's just like, you know, duplexes. And the water literally covered damn near the entire house. You know what I mean? Watching some of the, you know, kids and family members having to come out, you know what I mean, to get out of the water, was a lot to take in. And that area for a while was kind of shut off. So I think sometime last week, it finally cleared. And what was it, yesterday or the day before yesterday, I actually drove into, I drove into on the other side, like, cause like I said, it was so full for a while. So that was my first time actually driving on the street and just seeing people up to the day still clearing stuff out of their house, and you know, all the furniture and stuff being out. You can just on some of the some of the homeowners or tenants of the apartments, just watching them, you know, and some of them just look so hurt. So again, yeah, my heart goes out to you guys, and I pray that you guys have a swift recovery. That overall, all will be well with you, and I know it will by the grace of God. So yeah, that was tough. Okay, honey, the gas was a whole different conversation. Gas, by the grace of God, again, I filled my car up and I sat small. I sat in my area until it was time for me to actually move. I did go to work, but you know, I definitely made sure like my mileage was sufficient. You know what I mean? I had a good amount. I had a lot. When I say a lot, I was responsible with the gas, because I knew after a storm that there was a possibility. Who is screaming? There's a possibility that, you know, gas would have been, you know, at a lack because of, you know, power being out, right? A lot of, if the power is not out, and I really don't know exactly how the gas station will in that form work, but I would assume that if there's no power, it's impossible for you to get gas. So, you know, I was very responsible for what I had. But girl, some of y'all, honey, some of y'all was just being, I mean, honey, y'all was just acting up, okay? I mean, fights at the gas station, people cutting people off at the gas station. Girl, it was a lot, honey. The line, when I tell y'all, I ain't never seen no line like that, not never, okay? Girl, the line was so long, honey, you would have thought they was giving out free food stamps. That's how long the line was, girl. The line was just so long. I mean long. Okay, and that just honestly taught me, and I know this, I don't want to sound heartless, but if God forbid something was to happen, and the Bible speaks about these things as well, but if something was to happen where we needed to survive, a lot of people would not, because y'all don't use, some of y'all, I'm not gonna lie, y'all don't use the sense God gave y'all. You just don't use the sense God gave y'all. Some of y'all just act like a bunch of fools. It was just a lot, y'all. It was a lot. But what I do know is this situation, I feel like, allowed people for, you know, next storm season to actually prepare and prep themselves, you know, for the what ifs. Do you know what I'm saying? So yeah, power, a lot of power, you guys, is still out throughout Florida, still out to the day. It's been a week now. It's been a week now since today. Today's Wednesday. Today's Thursday, actually. So it's been a full week since the storm, and a lot of power is still out. Even in my apartment complex, some people powers are still out. Okay, so you guys pray for Florida, pray for, you know, like I said, those who have lost everything, those who have lost a majority of the things. Even if you lost power, girl, I pray for you too, because I get it. It can be frustrating, stressful, annoyed, hot. But y'all, really quick, speaking of hot, honey, I walked outside yesterday, and girl, you see I got my little sweater on, girl, because I came outside, girl, and it's cool out. It's cool. It's so cool outside. It's giving breezy breeze. It's giving a little windy wind outside, girl. And listen, yes, I know people like, girl, but you live in Florida. Yeah, we get cold too. What y'all saying? That's like when people go back to the Bahamas and go on the islands, in a minute we feel a little breeze. They be like, why they put that on? Like, you know, girl, it's because to us it's cold. We live here. This is our body temperature. Like, we're not used to this. You know what I'm saying? This is what we do, you know? So yeah, I came out yesterday and today, girl. When I tell you, we have a little chill in the city. We got a little chill in Florida, and I love that. I love that. I love that for us, girl. Love that for us. Okay. And let me tell you something. After this summer, when it was so hot, it was hot. I mean, squilling hot. Okay. Hot, water hot. Put it on the stove on hot. Okay. It was tea kettle. It was tea kettle. I mean, whistling. You know, when the water's running, like, baby, it was hot. I would not complain this year about the winter. I'm not doing it. Nope. I'm going to enjoy it, okay? So, for those of you that also are out of power, at least y'all today, God, y'all, we got a little windy wind. Open the windows up, girl. Slide that sliding door back, and just, if you want to be booty ball naked, not outside, but inside your house, and you just want the breeze, girl, you got all rights to do that. It's your rights, okay? Really quick, if I say really quick one more time, y'all, every time I say really quick, throw something at y'all screen. Like, y'all know y'all like, girl, not my screen. I'm not gonna break that. I'm gonna break my screen for you, crazy. Yeah, let's get into it. Love is Blind. This conversation, y'all, I think I'm just gonna do a episode next week for this, because, girl, I definitely love this season way better than I loved last season. Last season was horrible. This season here is still horrible, but it's not that horrible. It's actually entertaining. Okay, it was very much entertaining. Every time they actually, you know, end the last episode until the next week, I'm like, ooh, what's next? Like, that's a good movie scene. Like, okay, what's gonna happen next? I love that. But I'm just gonna give y'all, because like I said, it's time to just get into the topic of the day. I'm gonna give y'all my little pointers real quick on this, okay? First off, Tim and Alex. Baby, Tim and Alex, let me tell y'all something. I saw it coming, honestly, from Mexico. That's where they went, right? Mexico? Their honeymoon. I saw it. I saw it from every time I feel like Tim will say something, you know, and he got a little corny jokes, but I feel like, you know, that's the point of actually getting to know somebody. You know, like when you like a person, you just laugh at their little stupid jokes, like, like, you know, you do a little cackle, you know, but you like him, so it's like, oh my God, this is so corny and I love him. She just gave, like, everything he did was just annoying to her. You know, she just gave, like, she was just so, and he was just so, But when you go inside your house is like, ugh. That house gave, ugh, yucky. Girl, you didn't know that they was going to do a house tour? You didn't know that it was going to come through and do, and I get it, because by the end of the day, it's like, okay, that's who you are, cool. Because I feel like, this is my thing. My thing is like, I don't like a person who tried to portray to be something they're not. If you nasty, you just nasty, cool. Because that just tells me who you are. Now I can work from that. Don't sit there and try to act like you're so clean and tidy, and then when it's time for you to actually be in a relationship now, and I realize your shit everywhere. Like, this been you. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like in situations like that, I like men eat, like, you know, if y'all don't know, but your girl is back on the dating scene and she's like outside and or whatever. And I like people just being themselves. Be who you are. Tell me you are. Tell me what's going on. I like that. Don't try to BS me, because at some point it's gonna come out. And when it come out, it's gonna be like, okay, boop, done, wrap it up. Period. It's not an argument thing. I'm out of the argumentative stage of my life. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, cool. God bless you. You know what I'm saying? That's it. That's all. Period. And in certain conversations, just it's not worth having. I understand in this situation where they're you know, dating for marriage, right? That's the whole thing. Where that conversation should have been had. And I think it was just certain things, like I said, from the door that I saw. You like that? And I just saw that by the end of the day, I just feel like they definitely was not going to be a match. I think it was like more like her way or the highway, or, you know, they just wasn't a good match for each other. I think it was very cringe to watch them. Tim, if I'm being honest, there are certain things, like I said, where, like, you know, when they mentioned, or Alex said that, you know, she likes a man that's affectionate, and he was not like that. Again, be who you are, because if that's not gonna work for you, then it's just not gonna work for you. And he, you know, basically said that to her. I think he was very communicative in, you know, the relationship. And she just tried to write it out, you know what I'm saying? Or it just was like, okay, yeah, whatever, boom. You know what I mean? Sometimes it's just to be on TV. Sometimes it's just for entertainment. Sometimes it's just for, you know, the act or the image of actually being married but don't like each other. Like, you know, people do that all the time. We in a relationship, but y'all still cheating on each other. Ooh, but that's a different conversation for a different day. We're not talking about that today. I think what I also noticed too, and this, when I tell you, honey, I saw it coming, okay? When Tim cooked, right? And I mean, got everything together, you know, like, okay, you guys come in and you take it the food, and you're not even helping this man. You even helped the man from what I could see, because, you know, TV only show minutes of what actually goes on in hours, right? You didn't, from what I see, help him take the food up and like, babe, can I help with this, or can I help with that? Even if a person is helpful, right, and this is what they like to do, they like to nurture a person. The nature thing, I don't know, but nurture a person or take care of a person. These are things that people even, you know, they still kind of pick up on to see, not sometimes even if it's being reciprocated, but even if you appreciate it. You get what I'm saying? And I think overall, he noticed those things. You know what I'm saying? He noticed those things. He took it in consideration just to see, okay, what the outcome is going to be. And outcome was just, like he said, you know, if you watch the last episode, he was like, you know, I don't want to spoil it for y'all. So if y'all ain't seen it, fast forward to the next part. But he said, you know, I cooked, and, you know, I went out and I got the food, I seasoned it, all this stuff. And he was like, you didn't even ask to, you know, wash the dishes. And, you know, she kind of was like, well, you should have. No, why the hell I gotta ask you to wash the dishes if I sat there and I just cooked and cleaned and, you know, do all these things for your parents, and the nerve of you to just sit your behind there and thought I was gonna ask you to do it. No, I'm watching you, Bookie, because by the end of the day, this is who you are, and these little things, by the end of the day, it's going to become a big thing, because this is not who you are. You don't want to help me. Again, from your room, you're nasty. That's what it gave. It just gave nasty boobs. So certain things, you don't mind living in filth. You get what I'm saying? And even if you're a filthy person, you're also not even trying to coexist, because it's like, okay, well, by the end of the day, yeah, I can do a little clothes here and there, but he like a little cleaning of the house. I don't have to sit there and clean the whole house because he gonna sweep. But let me just mop. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? If he gonna cook, but let me just do the dishes. You know what I'm saying? He ain't sitting here saying do everything, y'all. You know, he's helping, so help him. Girl, we're gonna have to talk about that later, because it's gonna be too much. Garrett and Taylor, I like them. It's just like, I like them. I don't know what else to say. I like them. That little conversation that he decided to not talk about. Y'all, this might be the conversation for today, because girl, I've been here for a little minute. But Garrett and Taylor is like, why you ain't tell me? Like, you know, dudes to do that sometimes. They'll leave out certain information. No, if you're gonna talk to me about it, talk to me about it. Because if I have to find out about it, that means now you won't really piss me off, because it's like you was trying to hide something, and that's what it gave. Even if you wasn't trying to hide something, that's just what it gave to me. Because if you had the conversation with me, fully had the conversation with me, okay? Yeah, what I said this, I said that, but it's like you already know. Sometimes, you know, people be knowing, you know, what was wrong, and they know how they gonna look wrong, so they ain't gonna say where they was wrong at. You know, but I like them. That's all I can say. I like them. I don't know what else to say about that. Girl, Nick, aka Nikki D, and Hannah. I know this is gonna sound so bad. I shouldn't have to say this, but every Hannah that I actually know, I don't really vibe with them. They just give to me. I don't get it. And you might be a Hannah that I might like, but the ones that I have been around, I just don't mess with them. And they don't mess with me, and that's okay, because baby, don't play with me. But girl, Nikki D and Hannah was another cringe. It was just so cringing. Now, let's talk about it. Nikki D in the pods gave charismatic. He gave like, tried to give like his good perks to himself, right? And then when you came and, they kind of came out the pod, it was like, whoa. I really wasn't expecting that. I thought you was going to be, but at the same point in time, I feel like with Hannah, the person who Hannah was inside of the pod, she also wasn't that person either. Because Hannah gave like, she just so fun, she this, she that. But the minute she got together with him, she tried to little boy him. And I feel like, I don't know, I don't remember if they actually had conversations inside the pods, but I would assume that they did about, where he lives at. I would assume that he would have said my mama house, and you thought you could have changed that narrative. And I think a lot of times in life, we have women that feel like they can change the narrative of a man by trying to little boy them. Do you get what I'm saying? And a lot of times that don't work out for you the way you think it's gonna work out for you. When I say it don't work out, I mean it goes straight to hell. Meaning that, sometimes we have men that sit there and they've been little boy all their life when it comes down to their mamas. So the minute you try to do it to them, they'll backhand slap you. Thankfully Nikki D wasn't that type of person, but I feel like Hannah just tried to like little boy him all the time and just talk down on him and, tried to act like she was just a prize. You know what I'm saying? Instead of if this is the amount, if you feel like this man couldn't give you what you needed, baby, the minute you came out that pod and you see where he lived and you see once y'all start living together, you see like, okay, well, and I get, she had the conversation about like, what do you expect? This is what I expect from you, right? Instead of asking them, are you willing to do these type of things? You get what I'm saying? And if the answer is no, baby, the answer is no, right? But you sit there and you try to like, act like he was a, what do you call it? He was a project for you. You understand me? Instead of you trying to make him your equal. And like I said, and when it comes down to finance and you feel like, well, he don't meet me financially, this and that, whatever. These are big things. It's understandable, right? But instead of you just bowing out gracefully, you try to control the narrative. And what I don't like about Nikki, with the situation, what made me mad about Nikki D is why you wait for that girl to tell you that she wasn't it. I think she gave you all kinds of signs. I feel like he was trying to wait for the wedding to be like, you didn't, or something like it's some cops out there. It sounded like, you didn't embarrass me all this time and whatever. I'm waiting for the wedding to embarrass your ass. You didn't embarrass me in front of your friends. You didn't embarrass me in front of your mama. You didn't embarrass me in front of these cast members. You know what I'm saying? You didn't embarrass me in front of these camera people and production. When this wedding come, I'ma give it to your ass. But you didn't. And I'm like, well, damn, I ain't like that. I felt like, definitely could have saw it coming. And if it didn't come, I feel like they just would have been two miserable people. And it wouldn't have lasted up to the reunion. But by the time they got to the reunion, oh, what happened? We didn't make it. Duh. Marissa and Ramses. Whew, girl. This is a whole lot of. This might just be a part two. I don't know. But Marissa and Ramses, I ultimately at first I liked it, Marissa and Ramses. Now, when they was in the pod and Marissa was like, she kind of made the decision because, oh, he's a Cancer. Yeah, okay, that was it. That's it. He's a Cancer. I love him. I want to be with him. Now, granted, maybe because I'm not a big, sign person or, like, oh, this is your sign, this is what it means, honey. You got to show me who you are, I don't give a good damn what your sign is. You know what I'm saying? There may be things that y'all come, I don't believe in it. Let me say what I don't believe in it. I don't hold myself to this standard what a man works like. If you this sign, no. And I had some crazy experiences with some people, but that's just who you are. You know what I'm saying? And I do see sometimes people where they have the same personalities, but that's just who you are. And for me, I was like, okay, she made her decision over that. That's a little crazy, but okay, cool. If you like it, I love it. But I feel like Marissa is such a character. She's also very charismatic and so, high energy, and I love that. And she's so pleasant. I love that. I love Ramses as well too. I feel like Ramses is he's such a sweet man. He's such a caring man. He loves affection. He likes to touch on her. He love her. And I love that, right? Now, before we get into the mama, because I know a lot of y'all seen it. If you ain't seen it, again, fast forward until you watch it, because girl, this was good. It was good. It was really good. Ramses, when he said, they had a little argument or this little thing where it was like, they talked about, sex and having a baby, and he was like, well, I'm not ready right now, maybe like in a few years, this and that, whatever, and their time period didn't match or whatever. And she gave the the decision, like, or the ultimatum was like, okay, well, if this is not what you want in this time period, then you're gonna have to wear a condom, so to be safe. Get it, boom, bang, makes sense, right? And then he was like, well, why just don't go on birth control, or do a little whatever. And she was like, I don't want to do that. That's her body. She can do whatever she want to do, right? I'm trying to make it work. I don't want to do it. I don't believe in it. I don't want to do whatever your decision is, whatever it is, right? And he was like, yeah, but I want it to be enjoyable. You know what I'm saying? So basically, you wanna be able to shoot the club up, right? You want to shoot the club up, but you don't want the party that comes along with it. Huh? What are you talking about? Where are we going here? Because the math is not mapping. Okay, 1 + 1 is 2. You're giving me 10. Don't make sense, right? So, that little part right there, I was like, girl, boy, make it make sense. This is stupid. You know what I'm saying? This is really, really dumb. But ultimately, I feel like that's something that they can work through, however they want to work through it. They just gonna have to work through it. If she still decide to be like, okay, well, cool, we not gonna wear no condoms, we just gonna put it on the back burner, shoot the club up, whatever, and the baby wind up happening out of it, it's like, okay, well, what you thought was gonna happen, Bookie? What you thought was gonna happen? At some point, this probably was gonna happen. What you gonna do about it? You know what I'm saying? And if he be like, okay, well, I want to be this no more. Okay, nigga, you still a daddy. Don't matter to me. You gonna learn to put the little condom on. Stop playing in my face. Like, yeah, this is what happens. Poop. Or she gonna be like, okay, well, I'm gonna go on birth control, whatever it may be. I feel like that's something they can work out. But girl, the mama, Marissa mama, she is probably the worst one I've ever seen on this entire show. Her mother is a very narcissistic woman. Her mother is projecting her problems and deflecting her problems on her child. Her mother is, oh yeah, because I've been married before, and man this and man that, like you dated every man. I know and I get it, because Curl, it sounded like you did, because like that the one of the kids said they can have a football team, but all the daddies that they got. Your experience with men also to have nothing at all, not nothing, but you have to take accountability too, Bookie, because you done had all these kids, and like one of your kids said, oh, y'all can have a football team. I think she said football team, or whatever it was, illustration or whatever they had used, but it sounded like you need to learn a little lesson too before you want to tell me about how to do what I gotta do. So her mama was just like, and her mama told me something, oh, I don't like when he weird, and I don't like this. Girl, I don't like your deep ass voice. I don't like the fact that you acting like a nigga. Like, I don't like that. But am I complaining? I'm sitting here still trying to respect you. Don't play with me. What is wrong with you, girl? Okay. Oh, and before we get up this, Tim, and let's go back to Tim and Alex. When Alex was like, I like my sleep, you know, she's like, I don't know what it is. I'm just a sleepy person. Girl, and I'm not talking about nobody weight, because this conversation that we're gonna have today is really, y'all, this might as well just be the topic of the conversation. We just gonna have to go ahead and get into the next episode, the conversation I actually want to have today, because I just got a lot to talk about with this. I don't know what I should do, because this took 40 minutes of my time already, okay? But when Alex said, oh, you know, I don't know what it is, I'm just a sleepy person, and like I said, I'm not taking no shots at nobody, because your girl put on a lot of weight. Let me just tell y'all that right now. So I'm not taking no shot at nobody. But when you say this, I don't know why I like to sleep so much, I just like to take naps, and you done pull that big ass, what was that, chicken wings, gizzards, I don't know what it was on that plate, but there was a whole lot going on that plate. And you gonna sit there and say, I don't know why I sleep so much. Girl, you don't say. You don't know why you sleep so much. You got Thanksgiving, a whole Thanksgiving and Christmas meal on your plate. That's fine. And I get what he was saying. Like, my mama came here drove 10 hours to see us, and the minute the camera went off, you took your ass to bed. To bed, because you like to sleep. Girl, I would have sat down. I get it, because, you know, and I call me crazy, but when it comes down to people, parents, I like to make a good impression. I do. Because I feel like those are the people that raise you. You know what I'm saying? And some people are like, well, you know, I don't care if the parents like me or not. In situations, I get that. You know what I'm saying? But if the person ain't did nothing to you, you know what I'm saying, and they gave you respect, give the people they respect back. Some people, like, I don't play about my parents. Like, period. Don't play with them. Because you play with them, it's going to be a problem. These are people that raised me. Do you understand me? Respect them. Especially if I respect your parents. What's wrong with you? You know? And it's like, okay, if you was tired or whatever, you know what I'm saying, you could have sat there, and I feel like, you know, entertain them, whatever. Let your eyes do a little like, oh, I'm sleepy. They at some point, I felt like they'd been like, you look a little tired. I'm like, I'd be like, you know what? I had a long day. I am tired. You know what I'm saying? They probably were like, well, go ahead and get your rest, baby. But you gonna wait for the cameras to go up and take your ass to sleep? You probably was sleeping because you done ate all that food. Somebody had food somewhere. Y'all had to have food within those couple of hours. Now you want to go to bed. With you. So yeah, like I was saying, you know, Marissa and Ramses, I like them. I really do like them. I just feel like I said, the mama just pissed me off. Her face, she always have an attitude. She always just sitting like she just mad about the world. Girl, like, oof, I didn't like that. Her mama just irked me. But I do like them together. They're actually one of my favorites. It's something that went on, y'all seen at the last episode. We don't know what it is, girl. I don't know what is going on, but I don't know, but I like them. Monica and Monica and Steve. I don't even know what to say about them because those are another people group, whatever those was them two together. Just I got like my skin crawled even the minute they started even having like she cringes me, he cringes me, they just cringes me. It's just cringe. That's just it. It's just cringe. It's been cringed. It's been cringed. You know, it's like she keeps saying, I like flowers, I like flowers, I like flowers. And get it, I get it, boo, because Bookie, I love me some flowers, but I'm not gonna continuously repeat that to you. Why is it that we try to control people's narrative of people? If this is not who you are, cool, boom, let's wrap this shit up. Why is we playing like this? Jeez. Gosh. Ugh. Ashley and Tyler. Ashley and Tyler is definitely one of my favorite peoples. I do actually like them. I do. Now, okay, let's get into it. When Tyler mentioned, I guess, whenever it came out that he had kids, because, you know, they didn't record that, you know what I'm saying? It probably had to been off camera when they had this conversation. But he has kids, you know, because he was a sperm donor. An actual sperm donor, because, you know, we got a lot of sperm donors, like, for real, but they wasn't actual sperm donors. They just happen to be sperm donors. You know, I know a few of them. Hey, but when he made mention of it, I definitely felt that was a so when they first talked about it, when they first, you know, started having a conversation about, you know, having kids, at first I thought he actually was an active father. Like, you know, he actually shoot up, you know, some lady club, or, you know what I'm saying, and they took care of the babies, and you still having a conversation, but you want 7 kids, but you already got 3. Nigga, that's 10. That's what I thought it was. I thought he actually had kids, and he wasn't, you know, he ain't talked about it. That's what I thought it was, but it wasn't given that. It was given he was an actual sperm donor, and, you know, and again, if you didn't watch your girls, fast forward the whole thing. Just don't watch this. Just don't watch this at this point, because we've been going for 46 minutes right now. I thought he was, like I said, you know, he was an actual sperm donor, but he was, anyway. What it was he had helped out his 2 friends. They were gay, and, you know, they wanted kids. So he felt like, well, you know, why wouldn't I just help you out? He felt like he was doing a good thing, and he was doing a good thing. And that's what it was. So I get that. I felt like, you know, again, that was a conversation that he could have been had with her, and, you know, kind of like let her know, like, okay, well, no, this is what it was. Like, it wasn't like I was just, you know, giving my, I don't even, because even if you were a donor, like, that's what you do. That's just what you do. But it's not like I'm just a deadbeat and I have kids. No, I was helping out some friends, and this is how, boom, this is what happened. And let her kind of, you know, figure out this was she could have, if this is something that she could have done or not. I feel like maybe he didn't tell her it ahead of time, because, you know, sometimes when you know you're a good person, you know you have so much to give to a person or whatever, and it's like, this one thing that I did, and I don't want him to judge me for it or whatever. I think that's what it was. You know, I think he was just trying to, like, show who his good perks of exactly really who he is, and just not this area of his life, in a sense. And I'm not really trying to make up for him or take up for him, but I felt like it was like he just probably felt like, I have so much love to give outside of this situation, and you might think this is weird, or you might judge me off of it. So let me show you everything that I can do as, you know, the man that I am, or who I really am, and then I'll tell you about it or whatever. And in a sense, like I said, I get it, but I don't get it, because that's a conversation that you could have. I'm everywhere with this situation or this thing, but I just felt like that's something that I feel like you could have gotten over. That's understandable, instead of you actually just be, you know, me thinking you just a dog ass nigga having kids. You tell me you got no kids, I would have been drop you. You done. Like, you want to have kids and me, so what? When you have all these 7 kids, you not gonna tell people you got 7 kids, nigga? Like, what are you talking about? That's what I thought it was. But overall, I like them. I really like them. They are definitely my top favorite right now. And I feel like it's just certain things that is going to come out in relationships that you just be like, oh, okay, well, I ain't know that. You know what I'm saying? But certain things, I feel like it can be worked on. That was one of those things I feel like it had been worked on. So boom, girl, we've been talking here for 50 minutes about these people. I like them. So we're gonna have that conversation again because I do love this here season. Okay, so y'all, we gonna try to. Woo-hoo. Let's see if we can do an hour and 15 minutes and just make this quick. And when I say quick, there's a whole lot to talk about here as well too. But let's get into the topic, y'all. The topic of the day is why change is hard. I seen this these topics here on TikTok. Y'all, my content creation bag has just burnt out. I didn't know what else to talk about, honestly. And like I said, between the storm and everything else, y'all, I was not actually trying to find topics. And what I do outside of like me having coming up with episodes, I just allow stuff around my life or situations like I told you guys before that I go through. I try to get the revelation from it and then I come to you guys about it. But it ain't been like that in a while. I'm still going through stuff, but it's still for me to God is still in the works of that. So as I said it before too, I don't like having conversations prematurely too when certain things have happened in my life as well too. So boom. So I seen this, like I said, on TikTok topics, podcast topics, whatever. And it actually resonated with me in this situation. And this also is something that I'm actively going through, but this is a conversation I feel like can still benefit others as well too. And I'm not prematurely talking about it. So, like I said, topic why is change so hard? Now, really quick, during this hurricane here, y'all, when I tell y'all I've got one of the biggest revelations that I've gotten in a long time. And like when you have certain things happen that that's catastrophe, that is a disaster, or you just have the catastrophe and you have to sit down for a little bit and you have no other option. Like when COVID happened, right? We had no other option, honey, but to sit down. And when you go through a hurricane, you ain't got too much options except for sit your behind somewhere and wait for this thing to pass over. And like I said, me and my family evacuated, and it was at a situation where I can do nothing, right? We had to wait for the storm to be over. Everything, just kind of, in a sense, really not worrying, but, praying that, it wasn't as bad as, they said it was going to be, so on and so forth. And when we left and, me and my family, we got an Airbnb, what was it, a 3 or 4 bedroom? And I had my room to myself. Usually, like if we're sharing, sometimes you probably have to share with someone. Like my daughter, it had like 2 beds in there. My daughter actually slept with her aunts. They're all the same age. Well, not all of them the same age, but they're around the same age bracket. So they all kind of, slept in there in the next room, and I had the room to myself, which allowed me to actually spend a lot of time with myself and spend a lot of time with myself. And one of the things that I've noticed is, like I said earlier, I have put on not just weight, but I've also been so inconsistent in my workout routine. And I've been working on now maybe 9, almost 10 years. And I went from one goal, which is to, which was smaller, to be, on the thick side and, give a little booty, give a little, I was tired of looking like a little girl. I always look like a little girl. I was always tiny. My family, my cousins that I actually shout out would call me chicken legs because my legs were so tiny. And I'm like, oh, I'm tired of this. I got a baby. What was she with 9 at the time? No, she was 7 or 8. I'm like, girl, I still look like I'm a child, right? So I wanted to gain weight, and I went through that process, and I was so consistent. I got to the point of being just so consistent of actually wanting to make a change. And then at some point I got inconsistent. right? I think honestly, if I'm being honest, ever since I moved here, this has been the most inconsistent I've been when it comes down to my workout routine. Um, and I had moments, you guys, where I would like, go crazy. And then I just kind of fell off. And I think in these last 2 months, maybe 2, 3 months, I've been the most inconsistent when it comes down to my workouts, right? And yeah, my workouts. And I didn't notice it until I actually had to sit with it, right? When you're not moving around. Sometimes we're always on the go, and as parents, single parents, two-family household, just as adults, period, that is taking care of business and taking care of lives. And even if it's just your life, we're always on the go, right? If you're active, you're always on the go. And it's just certain things that you just kind of like, you don't even notice. And I think me being inconsistent in my workouts, I didn't notice it until I noticed it. Like I said, until I actually had to sit with myself, right? And I made the conscious decision on my way actually driving. I was thinking about it, like I said, when I was with my parents. And when I got on the road, it was just so heavy on me. Okay, I gotta change this. I gotta be the change that I got to change this. I have to change this. And I was also able to look at areas where I fell short, right? I also look in areas where I was inconsistent, where, I did it some days and then I'm like, okay, well, I've been working out so long, it ain't even gonna be that big of a deal. And then we wind up, taking so many days off. We stop doing something. We just, it's gonna be one day. It's just gonna be 2 days. And it just wind up becoming a habit. And then you fall off your mark, right? And that's what I did. I fell off my mark. I made, like I said, your girl is back in her bag, and I don't have nothing to. I'm not at a place where I have nothing to prove to anybody except myself. I'm a bit disappointed as well too, right? Because, like I said, I've been doing it for so long, and sometimes too, when you do something for so long, you think it would not be you, right? You worked at the same place for so long, you think, well, I'm exempt from this because I've been here the longest. You know what I'm saying? Until you're not there, right? And I think that's just where I've been. So I'm really just at a place, y'all, where I'm locked in, right? So like I said, when I seen this post on TikTok about why it's changed so hard, it really resonated with me too, because I realized that when I first started working out and my routines or whatever, getting into a routine of me wanting to gain weight, that was a change. That was a change that I had to make, right? That was certain things that I had to put in place to make sure that I obtained what I was looking for. And now I'm at a place in my life where now I have to change, right, a different area of my life to get the results that I want. You understand that? I know what it is now that I have to do, and I've not been doing it. There's no excuse around it. Do you understand? So I also made some pointers as well too. Like I said, I want to make sure that I'm able to stop at 1 hour and 15 minutes because I do not want this to be too long as well too. Yeah, so I have, like I said here, I have a few pointers as well too. What I was able to see in my area, in areas of my life where I was inconsistent or where, I did not make the change that is needed, and why is it so hard as well too. So I use, like I said, different areas of even when I first started to work out to now, the things that I had to go through or I had to implement as well too. So I just, like I said, wrote some notes down here as well. So one of my things here is, I think it's hard to change because ultimately it requires a different version of you, right? Like I said earlier, I know that when I first started working out, there was a different version of me that needed to show up in order for me to gain weight. Now I'm at a place where not necessarily losing weight, but in a sense, of course, losing weight, but also giving myself a figure that I know that I can obtain, but it's going to require a different level of me. It's going to require a different version of me. I was usually in the gym for 5 days out of the week. and I fell off. Sometimes I'll go 2 days out of the week, 3 days out of the week. And if I do go in some time, and my thing is really quickly too, is I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I love to help people. Like I said, this is the reason why I've also started my podcast as well too, is to help people to be able to bring people at a different, to even just get it sometimes, right? Or to just help. That's the person that I've always been. And I've also understand that God has also given me a gift to pour into others as well too. But sometimes too, what we do is we pour and we give people out of a cup that is not filled. I had this conversation before, and I wind up putting myself even in a gym where if somebody asks me for help, or if they want to work out with me, I'm like, yeah, come on, let's go. And I have not, and even though at some point, yes, it's going to distract you, not distract you, but it's going to stop you. No, I can't even say it's, and it can't even, it's not going to stop you. But if you wind up pouring so much into somebody else, it can stop you. Or not even able to manage when or how you pour into someone, that is what is going to stop you. If you just pour, like, okay, I'm gonna just give a little bit here, and try to make sure I fill back up, right? Instead of trying to pour everything into someone else too, it can take you off of your mark as well, right? I think it's also really important, when you're changing too, is you have moments where you have to isolate yourself, or where you have to be selfish, right? And it's not to be like, oh yeah, I want to obtain all the money, or I want to obtain this figure, and go and show it out, and this and that, whatever. But you have to. I've realized that sometimes you have to lock in with yourself before you can bring someone else up, right? Again, I've made the analogy. And you heard before, when a plane is going down, they tell you to put the mask on yourself before you even put it on your own child. Because if you pass out, how can you help somebody else, right? So you have to help yourself as well, too. And I realized in the gym where I wind up helping so much that I forgot. And, if I was supposed to do 6 different workouts, or if I was supposed to do a full body, I wound up just doing, back, right? And I for missed core. Then the next day I kind of like, okay, I'm gonna do core, but then now that fell on my glute day. So it's like I'm missing out in areas where I shouldn't, but because I want help, So sometimes it's okay to say no and explain why you're saying no if a person feel like it's gonna be offensive. Do you get what I'm saying? Again, I'm not responsible for what you think after I say it, because I know my truth, but I'll let you, like, okay, I got you next week. Like, let me do this, and I got you one day next week. I can't give you a full day, right? But let me tell you what I can give you. Do you get what I'm saying? If I don't have it to give, period, I just don't have it to give until I start to see myself transform, right? Like I said, it's not for you to just want to obtain it all, but the requirements and the level that it takes for you to get there. Another one I have here is when you're going into uncharted waters, right? When you want to change and you don't know the possibilities or the outcome of what it is that you're going through, it's difficult as well too, because a lot of times we just want to see the finish line, right? We just want to see where it says finish, but we don't see the race that's ahead of us. So when you cannot see the race ahead of you, we can talk ourselves really quickly off that ledge, because it's like, well, I don't know what's going to come out of this, so I don't even know, right? So you have, again, and I'm not going to say me, because I don't have that. I just know, like I said, if I'm being quite frank with you, it's I'm honest with myself. I'm so honest. It's the inconsistency of the way I show up, how I show up, my meal planning, what I'm out of the gym, what I do within that time period. It's a lot of the inconsistencies for me. But I know for a fun fact that what happens a lot of times is when you have not, when you have not, if you've never worked out before, right? If you're a person who just going into the gym, or you want to go to the gym, and you're, if you're big or you're small and you want to gain, because you don't know the outcome of it, you don't know if you're going to get it. So it's like, oh, well, I don't even know if that's going to work. I'm not even going to try to do it, right? Instead of you, again, consistently, repetitively doing something to see the outcome of it. So it's easier to talk yourself out of it if you don't know the end game, right? It's easy to talk yourself out of it if you don't know what is in that box. Is it a gift or is it shit? You know what I mean? I don't know if that made sense, but is it a shit? Sometimes if you feel like, well, I was supposed to get this and I ain't got it, then you feel like it's shit, I have here as well too. Sometimes we allow friends, family members, sometimes even strangers to tell us indirectly or even directly what we can or cannot do, Do you get what I'm saying? And a lot of times we do that because we're looking for validation from this situation. A lot of times when people say, well, I want to do this, I want to do that. This is the reason why I feel like a lot of people, always have to make mention about things that they want to do to other people, because you want a validation. You want actual validation. You don't even want to actually do it. You just want to be validated for something that you say you're going to do. You get what I'm saying? And then when you don't get the results that, or the verbal applause that you thought you would get, it's like, okay, well, I'm not going to do it no more. Well, you're not doing it because, again, you had no plans on doing it. Or sometimes you don't do it because sometimes you have so much people, again, that it can be negative, or people see where you can go if you make that change in your life, and they know, okay, if she make that step, boy, she gonna be big. You know what I'm saying? She gonna be that girl. She gonna make that money. You know what I'm saying? She gonna have that body goal. She gonna, be successful. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of sometimes people do that to talk you off the ledge. Do you get what I'm saying? But if you don't have a why, and I know this is so cliche, but people speak about that all the time. What's your why? If you have a strong enough why, if you have a reason why you want to do something that you want to do, that should be enough for me. And even, like, again, going back to my workout and, my figure is, my why is not even the figure that I want. My why is, I know that I've been inconsistent, and I know that where my body can go, I didn't even put into work to see if I can actually do it. Do you know what I'm saying? I was not consistent intentionally to see if I can actually get there. So let me actually do it and see what I can get from it. Do you get what I'm saying? Instead of trying to make excuses, or instead of, again, me being tired, me doing this, me doing that. Plan it out, figure it out, it's going to work, period. Okay? And I also think this is the reason why it's so important to be active as well, too, just in life, because when you've been active in certain areas of your life, it can be done. So like I said, because I've worked out before and I went from small to gain, I know that that I can accomplish this, right? When you had a business before, even if it failed, you know that I can do this because I did it before. You get what I'm saying? That's why I also think it's so important to not have a lazy mindset as well, too, because if you don't, you're always going to want to get back up, dust yourself off, and try again. Shout out to Aaliyah, R.I.P. Aaliyah. We give up easy. That's another thing. We give up so easy, right? A lot of times, again, we'll sit there and say, well, I'm going to do it. Then the minute the what's that word? The paint dry, not the paint dry up, but the minute there's friction, the minute there is, the cycle ain't going the way you expect it to go, it's an issue. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yeah, well, I ain't gonna do this no more because it ain't gonna work for me. You know what I'm saying? Or it's too much, right? Excuse me. Ooh. I had seen a post a while ago, and like I said, I don't know if I mentioned it on here, but a girl was like, yeah, she was like, honey, y'all would have the gym. I'm gonna just go get it. I'm gonna just go to the doctor. And it's, she's like, it's my body's aching, right? Because it hurt, you gave up, right? Because you didn't want to feel the pain, you gave up. And I think, like I said, overall, we just give up too easy. We just don't want to put in that work. We just, the minute you start to feel a little pain, it's like, yeah, well, I don't want to do this no more, right? But that's where consistency comes in as well, too, because once you get over that pain, once the pain becomes normal, once it's like, okay, yeah, well, I feel it, but I'm still going to do it. That's where you start to make the change, right? The pain, and I also realized that when you're working out as well, too, when you do your first rep, a lot of times, you feel that pain, right? But the more you do it, that pain loosens up, and it's like, well, I can do another one. Well, I can do another 10. You get what I'm saying? And when you continuously show up, okay, well, I'm going to feel the pain, but I know I'm going to bypass this pain. At some point, it's going to stop. You get what I'm saying? And then again, when you start to see the gains, you start to see the arch, you start to see you losing weight, you gaining weight, whatever it is that your goal is, you like, yeah, I like that. I like that. So even if it hurts, you still want to apply yourself. So again, like I said, we give up easy. Another thing is we make decisions without a plan or a life-changing why. Like I said earlier, a lot of times we do things without a why, right? You don't have a reason why you do it. You see somebody else do it, so it's like, yeah, well, I want to do it now. That's enough, and that's the reason why we give up, right? Or you see, like I said, you see how much work it is, And it's like, yeah, well, I'm not willing to do all that work. Your why wasn't big enough. You ain't see what the next person had to do. You ain't see the time and the energy and the long nights and the early mornings. You understand that somebody else had to do. You ain't see the meal plan. You ain't see them they being strict with what they eat, what they don't eat. You know what I'm saying? You ain't see the conversation that they have, with people to get them to the next level. You're gonna say that you don't see that dedication. You don't see that repetition. You know what I'm saying? You don't see their why. You don't see that they family ain't never had nothing. So they say, okay, well, I gotta be the change, right? You ain't see in their family, everybody baked boned it. When I say baked boned, when I unhealthy as well too, they ain't never wrong being baked boned, but they're unhealthy. You know what I'm saying? They have this issue, they got this issue, they got that, it's hereditary, right? So they're like, yeah, I'm not gonna do this. I gotta make the change. You don't see that. You don't see that. You just see what you want and you expect what they have. No, your why ain't big enough. Find your own why. And guarantee when a lot of times when you find your own why, and if sometimes the reason why you can't find a why for the reason why you don't want to make the change is because it's not for you. It ain't even for you to have. It wasn't even for you to get. That was for that person. Find your reason. Find something that you're good at. Find something that's gonna make you be like, yeah, I want to do this because. Find that. I know y'all, I'm getting real hyped up because it's such the truth. You get what I'm saying? The next thing I have here is we're flat out lazy, but want the reward from putting in nothing. Nothing from nothing leaves nothing. We just lazy. If I'm being honest, I got to the point where I was lazy. I got lazy. Ain't no way around. I got lazy. I did. It's true. I got lazy. That's what it was. I got to the point of feeling like, oh, well, I just had to work this long shift. I'm just lay here. I could have went. And the thing is, I had moments where throughout the day, I'll be like, dang, I should have went earlier. Okay, well, you could get up and go now. What you think? I should have did it. Okay, well, you could still go. My gym open 24 hours. Ain't no excuse for that. There's no excuse. I got lazy. The reason why you don't want to get up and make the move is because you're lazy. The reason why you don't want to make the change is because you're lazy. A lot of times, too, I realize, too, when we allow ourselves to be honest with ourselves, that's when we start to make the change. We keep telling ourselves, yeah, I want to do it, but this person don't want to take me nowhere. This person don't want me to go this place. Y'all, my light just went out, so it's going to be a little crazy. I'm too much in the zone now to get it back on. Y'all going to see the difference. It is what it is. Yeah, I don't want to get up in the morning. I don't want to do it because I'm going to have to do this. Well, do it. Or just be okay with being lazy, Bookie. That's it. That's all. That's all. Period. Yeah. Next thing I have here is we only move when motivated and not consistent. That's one of my problems. One of my issues was if I'm feeling it, and right now this is the part, if anything, that scares me because I'm motivated now, right? I know that I'm pumped up. I want to get it done, this and that, blah blah blah. Let's go. But I stopped when I didn't want to do it. I stopped because, like I said, I just didn't, I was unmotivated. So I don't want to get up. I wait for motivation. When I know that consistency, discipline, repetition eats motivation up for lunch every single time, 12 p.m. all the time. I know this. Sometimes we don't make the change that we want to because we know what we're supposed to do and we're just not doing it. That's not even on the notes. That's just fact. That's just a fact. Right? So a lot of times we wait to be motivated. A lot of times we make the change because, I want to be the change. I want to start doing this. I'm going to write this down. Do this. The next day you like, I don't want to do it today. So I'm just not motivated. When I hear people say that, and this is the thing again, like I said, I know that I have done, so it's never pointing the finger. But when I hear people say, well, I'm not motivated today, okay, are you consistent though? Are you disciplined though? Are you obedient though? We don't make the change that we want because you're just waiting to be motivated. You're not going to be motivated all the time. Every successful person is not motivated to get up every day and make money. Like what? No, they want to lay there. They do. But they can't. Matter of fact, a lot of times they could because they got the money, but it's like, I refuse to. Do you not know that most successful people always love making money no matter how much money they got in the bank? You got some people, they love money so bad where it's like they got billions and they like, well, let's bet 20. They're like, yeah, let's bet it. They don't need the 20, but like, yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. They like a challenge. The reason why we not motivated, we can't make the changes. We don't like a challenge. We don't like a challenge. The reason why we don't have, we didn't lose that weight or gain that weight is because we're not challenging ourselves. That's not even on the book. That's a fact. We're not challenging ourselves to get to the level that we want to. And when it starts to hurt, then we stop. I watch people all the time, or people that I help or worked out with me, and they, go another 5. That hurt. That's a challenge. And I've learned even, from working out where even with your muscles, you can trick your muscles into believing whatever you want to believe. Is it heavy? Hell yeah. Can it be done? If I want it. I'm going to lift it though. I'm going to push it though. If I want it. Do you want it? Sometimes we don't want it that bad. We don't make the change because we don't want it that bad. That's not on the books. That's a fact. We don't make the change because we just don't want it that bad. Do you want it bad enough? It could be in our mind all day long. Yeah, I wish I could do this. I want to do this. I want to do that. I want to do. What are you doing to get there though? I want my body, me personally, I want my body to look how my body want to look. What am I doing to get there? Did I actually give myself 100? No, I haven't. When I first started gaining or, wanted to gain, I gave myself a 400. And the thing is, like I say, the good part of actually being active is if you did it before, you know that you can do it. I said this earlier, I have not felt like this in a very long time. And I think I have, like I said, this motivated, this intentional, this, wanting to have a goal and actually see that goal. I haven't felt like this since I first started my workout journey. And now, like I said, because I'm doing something different, I want a different look. I don't want to be skinny. But it's a different look that I want. It's going to take a different level to get there. So where I did not necessarily, in a sense, have to watch what I eat or, even either way, working out, you got to work out. But, the different types of workout that I'm doing, it's just a different level. So instead of me doing more of this, I need to do more of that. Instead of me focusing in this area, I need to focus in that area. It's a different level. So why is change so hard? These are the reasons why change is so hard. Now the question is do you want it? How bad do you want it? What do you have to do to get it? And if you don't want it, just admit it and be like, you know what? I don't want it that bad. That would take a lot of sleepless nights off of your head. That would make you sleep a lot more comfortable if you just realize, I don't want it that bad. I just don't want to work that hard. Cool. Well, stop allowing that to take up so much of your time and your space. Do the things that you want to do. You want to sit down all day on the couch and just watch TV? Be comfortable in that if that's what you want. Period. What are you willing to do? Are you willing to do it? Will you do it? All right. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead, y'all, and wrap that up today. Like I said, you guys, I wanted to keep it at 115. We're a little over 115 today. We still got a little more segments to go. A little more fun part of it. I'm glad I was actually able to make those pointers in real quick. I thought it was gonna take me about 2 hours. But y'all, like I said, you guys, that was something that was very that was sitting on me. And I just had to, and when I seen the topic, I'm like, okay, boom, yes, Lord. Thank you. I appreciate you. It was a good one today. So yeah, change is hard, but it can be done if you want it. Point blank and period. So you guys, let's go ahead and get into the WAYDTA. What's the WAYDTA for those of you that haven't been here before? It's what are you done thinking about? Abbreviation, WAYDTA. Then we're going to do WAYTA. What's the WAYTA you asked? Thanks for asking. I'll tell you. It is what are you thinking about? Okay. So what are you done thinking about? Leave some comments. Okay. If you a type of person that like to journal, if you don't like to journal, if you was thinking about journaling, boom, there you go. You heard it from here. Do your journaling, girl. You oh boy. Okay. It was on your mind. I just gave you that confirmation. Get her journaling. What are you done thinking about? If this is something, like I said, when it comes down to change and the topic of the day, if this is going to help you to get to your next step, what do you have to stop thinking about to get there? And what you need to be thinking about to get there, okay? So my WAYDTA is the reward, the outcome, the views, the analytics, instead of creating, planning, and actually putting in more work than complaints. It's going to be so much work, and work it's going to be so much work. Like, I think it's going to be so much work I have to do. I'm a single mom, this and that, I have to just thinking about everything when it comes down to, even like I said, creating content and being a podcaster. I'm not worried about the success. And like I said, I had this conversation time and time again. There's certain conversations, like I said, I have, and I feel like, okay, well, this is pointless. I'm not going to do it. I'm not worried about none of that. I'm not worried when it comes down to my gym, to working out, and like I said, my body goals and what I want to do. I'm not going to put my mind to, oh, okay, well, if I do this is how my body gonna look in the next 2-3 months, 4, 5. No. I'm just gonna put in the work. I'm going to put in the work, period. And if you put in the work, there's going to be changes regardless. I'm gonna worry about today. Okay, so the WAYTA, what are you thinking about? What am I thinking about? It's just today. I'm not thinking about tomorrow. I'm not thinking about next week. I'm not thinking about the week after that, next year, 2025. Not thinking about none of that. Okay. A lot of times too, people who are overthinkers like me, we think about every single thing, right? We're thinking about what we're even thinking about, which is good, but in a sense, like, you should definitely be thinking about. When I say what you're thinking about, that's when it comes down to like negative thoughts in your head. Like, okay, that's not mine, boom, throw it out. But when I say thinking about, we're thinking about, it's just something always on our mind. Things that we always have to do, always want to go, right? But in this situation, I am just thinking about today. I have here thinking about today and not tomorrow. How can I maximize the day instead of the day maximizing me? Moving with no intent. Every single day there should be an intent. A lot of times too, people that's always on the go, but they're not really accomplishing nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like, you always on the go, you always doing something, but what are you actually doing? Are you really doing something, or are you just acting like you're busy? And it was a whole lot of that going on for me. You know what I'm saying? It was a whole lot of that going on for me. So now, you guys, is to actually plan to, again, maximize the day, and what can I do to help the podcast? To help me be more consistent on the podcast. Should I just wake up a bit earlier and, record 2-3 episodes, right? So on those days where I really don't feel like recording and getting ready, I don't have to. Why? Because I did so much different recordings. I can pick and choose and refuse which one I'm going to do. Only thing I got to do is edit it, right? Okay, you don't want to edit all the time. Okay, boom, well, let's find an editor. You don't want to do production. Well, find a studio. Hello? Okay. Period. What can I do to maximize the time that I have? Working out. I don't want to work all the time. About 8 a day. I got a goal I want to get to. And in order for me to do it, I got to get there. I got to get to the gym. Period. Point blank. Well, sometimes I don't want to eat. I want to just eat this. I want to eat that. I don't want to, just look for food to eat healthy. You know what I'm saying? Or it's going to take too much. Girl, meal prep. So this is the one less thing you got to worry about. If it's in the fridge, you got to cook it. You got to cook it. You got to eat it. So eat that. Plan it. Low-key. Plan it. So that's what I'm worried about. Period. So y'all, let's get into the last segment of today. The beat of the week. What's your beat of the week? I know it's been a while. Like I said, girl, your girl ain't been really recording this entire October. R.I.P. to that boy, Rich Homie Quan. Quan was the boy. Listen, honey, when I tell y'all, I'm from the era where, honey, Rich Homie Quan, I be feeling like Milk Murray. Please get my face. Some type of way. Walk in, put it in it. Ooh. Baby. See ya, matter of magic, and I don't go there often. Everything she can have, but all she gotta do is Baby, I love to meet some rich homie, and I still love some rich homie, period. Period. The difference between me and you is I'd rather get money, try to flip me son. You can't tell. And I told you, God still working with me because them trap songs, them little hood songs, I be liking that. But the beat of the week, y'all. The beat of the week is The Man When I Walk Through. Okay? This is just my motivation song for me to stay, like I said, consistent in the gym. I be feeling like the man when I walk through. Can't and it when I walk through. Now watch me walk through. Watch me walk through. And watch me walk through. I put Gucci on my feet. Who got my money? You and me. I'ma walk through Wizardy with my security. Do you need glasses just to see? I love to be sorry. Come on, boy. Like that boy was that boy. Music is crazy. Like his music will really make you feel like the man, the girl when you walk through. I remember, girl, we used to get the minute we got into the club, right? And that song come on. I used to love when the song come on when me and my homegirls coming through the door, because it's like, now watch me walk through. And watch me walk through. Yes, honey. Yes. What? Everybody sing that song. Well, a lot of his songs, but that, especially in the club, like it's giving like you that girl or that nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like, now want me walk through. Now want me walk through. Hey, so that's my beat of the week, y'all. That's my beat of the week. R.I.P. again to Rich Homie Quan. Young Soul gone too soon. All right, you guys. This is definitely going to be like an hour and 30 minutes. So we got a whole lot of editing to do. I don't want this to be no longer than what it needs to. All right. I hope this message, you guys, was impactful, helpful, and needed. I hope it was needed. If it was, you guys leave some comments down below. Make sure if you are on YouTube to like, subscribe, honey. Get into the game, okay? We didn't think this gang over here. We be thinking over here. We be. You know, we have our little, you know, we a little collection sometimes over here, but we are smart. We're smart. Okay? We motivate. Okay? We motivate. Okay? Not imitates. Okay? And for the boys and girls that is on audio, on podcast, okay? Make sure, please follow. Okay? Leave some reviews. Okay? Y'all on Apple Podcasts. Y'all on Spotify Podcasts. Y'all on iHeartRadio Podcasts. All right, what's the other podcast we on? Google Podcasts. Wherever you get your podcast from. Shout out to y'all. Shout out to the countries, y'all, that actually do be listening to me. I be seeing my analytics. I do appreciate you guys. I love you guys, honey. I really appreciate it. Make sure you guys follow, though. Leave some comments. Let's interact, okay? Make sure you follow me, you guys, on Me See This, Me See That on not YouTube. Me See This, Me See That on IG and TikTok. Okay, I love you guys so much. Don't you, honey, forget, okay? Be the change that you want to be, girl, boy. No, you're not no little nigga. You a big man. I appreciate it. You a king. Why was that? What was that? That hurt, actually. Don't forget, honey, to tell a sister, brother, cousin, auntie, uncle, niece, great cousin. That's a whole lot of greats, girl. I don't even know if that's that much greats in the world. Sheesh. This is the thing about a podcast with your girl, Niecy. We out.